السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم في قناتنا For Kids. I am Kenzي أحلام, a teacher of English from Opiniat High School, and today we'll break your baccalaureate exam together, inshallah. So I know many of you are feeling anxious about their exam, but don't worry, it's completely normal. Just with the right mindset and the smart strategies, you can handle this easily. So if you're aiming for a top score, you're in the right place. Grab a pen, take a deep breath, and let's get started. So as you may know, that two topics will be given to you. Choose the most suitable one for you. Now, in this episode, we will be dealing with 2023 baccalaureate exam. First, you need to skim the text. And what do we mean by skimming the text? It means you read it rapidly in order to get the general idea, okay? And then you read the comprehension questions. Why? In order to know what to focus on. Now, after skimming and reading the comprehension questions, let's read the text carefully. Let's start together. Ever since the sunset on the Apollo era and the Soviet Union collapsed, there has been an unavoidable question when it comes to space exploration. It has become even more relevant in recent years in response to new proposals to send astronauts to the moon and to Mars. Given the sheer cost, is space exploration really worth it? Let's face it, space exploration is not exactly cheap. It takes the equivalent of millions of dollars to send even a single robotic mission to space, and billions of dollars to send astronauts to orbit. To be fair, exploring space, the other celestial bodies of the solar system and the universe at large also comes with innumerable benefits. The problem is the most obvious benefits are largely not observable. How do you put a dollar value on scientific knowledge, inspiration, or the expansion of our frontiers? For those debating the worth of space exploration, things often turn towards the question of how many problems we have here on Earth. As the argument goes, between climate change, hunger, overpopulation, and underdevelopment, we have got enough challenges here at home. And these should take priority over exploring and or establishing a human presence on other words. After reading the text, understanding its main idea, and highlighting the keywords, now we jump to the comprehension, which consists of 4 activities, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Concerning the first activity, say whether the following sentences are true or false. In this activity, you are required to say whether the following sentences are either true or false. Let's try to do them together. Okay, so the first one, space exploration is expensive. Of course, you won't find the same words in the text. You may find some synonyms. Here, space exploration is expensive. Let's see the text. Let's check our text. Space exploration is not exactly cheap. Okay, so this is a synonym. So, shall we write true or false for this sentence? Well, it's true. Space exploration is very expensive. Now, space exploration has few benefits, which means little. Okay, according to the text. Does it have few benefits or innumerable? So in the text, it is mentioned that space exploration comes with innumerable benefits, which means it's false, okay? Because it has many benefits. Let's jump to the next one. The benefits of space exploration are not usually concrete, something that we can't see. Well, when we check the text, it is written or it is mentioned that the problem with space exploration is that the most obvious benefits are largely not observable. So, it's true. And the last sentence, For some people, space exploration is not a priority. And according to the text, we have got enough challenges here at home, and these should take priority over exploring or establishing a human presence on other worlds, which is true. Now, let's jump to the next activity, which is answering the following questions according to the text. Now, keep in mind that you have to understand the text and read it carefully in order to answer these questions. The first question is sending robots to space as costly as sending astronauts? Now, before answering this question, I want to highlight one thing, which is the type of this question. Now, as you may see here, we call this type of question yes-no questions. Why? Simply because the answer to such questions are either yes or no, okay? So, is sending robots to space as costly as sending astronauts, which means the same price? Now, according to the text, it takes the equivalent of millions of dollars to send even a single robotic mission and billions of dollars to send astronauts to orbit. So, the answer is no. So, we write no. Don't forget to put the comma. It isn't. Or you can say it is not. Okay? Both are correct. Now let's jump to the second question. What benefits of space exploration are mentioned in the text? This type of questions is called WH questions. So here they want us to mention the benefits of space exploration mentioned in the text. Of course, you are going to mention them. For example, scientific knowledge, inspiration, and the expansion of our frontiers. The third one, what argument against space exploration is given in the text? So here we are going to instruct the argument against space exploration. So the argument goes like that. We have got enough challenges here at home, which means on Earth, okay, which take priority over exploring space. Now, jump into the third activity. Find what or who the underlined words in the text refer to. So here we're dealing with the referring words. And what do we mean by that? In Arabic is على ما يعود كل من هذه pronouns. Okay, هذه الضمائر. So, in order to solve such activity, you need to read before the pronoun. لازم تقرأ قبل هذاك الضمير. Let's take the first one, for example. Here, the first one is mentioned in the first paragraph. So let's read the whole paragraph. So ever since the sun set on the Apollo era and the Soviet Union collapsed, there has been an unavoidable question when it comes to space exploration. It has become even more relevant in recent years in response to new proposals to send astronauts to the moon and to Mars. Given the sheer cost, is space exploration really worth it? Worth what? Worth the cost. Okay? The cost. Now, let's jump to the second one, which is mentioned in the second paragraph. So, let's face it, space exploration is not exactly cheap. It takes the equivalent of millions of dollars. What takes millions, the equivalent of millions of dollars? It is space exploration. Space okay, and the last one, we find it in the fourth paragraph, or it is mentioned in the fourth paragraph. Let's see. As the argument goes between climate change, hunger, overpopulation, and underdevelopment, we have got enough challenges here at home, and these should take priority over exploring or establishing a human presence on other worlds. So here, what should take priority over exploring or establishing human presence on other words? The challenges, okay? The challenges. Now, let's jump to the fourth and last exercise in our comprehension. Choose the most appropriate title. So here, you are going to choose one suitable title for the text. So we have challenges facing people on Earth, the cost and benefits of space exploration, or dangers of space exploration. According to the text, if we reread the text, well, the answer is B, the costs and benefits of space exploration. One more important thing before moving to text exploration is that you have to respect punctuation while reading the text. Keep in mind that commas, full stops, and even dashes help you understand the meaning and the flow of each sentence, which means when you read correctly, you will understand everything. Now, let's jump to text exploration. And here we have the first activity. Find in the text words or phrases that are closest in meaning to the following. So here, هنايا راكم رايحين تحوسوا على الكلمات اللي عندها نفس المعنى مع هذه الكلمات. So, the first one, lunch, which is mentioned in the second paragraph. Now, how are we going to find these synonyms? كيفاش راح نلقاو هذه المفردات؟ First, you have to read the sentence carefully. And then, once you find the word, you replace the words and check the meaning in the context. In Arabic, تحوس تبحث على الكلمة، كي تلقى الكلمة تاعك تعاود تبدلها وتشوف إذا عندهم نفس المعنى. Let's try this with the first one, lunch. Lunch in the second paragraph. So here we have lunch, which is synonym to send. Send. Let's try to replace this word in the context and see. So it takes the equivalent of millions of dollars to send or to launch even a single robotic mission. Now, let's jump to the second one. Countless. Countless, which means we can't count them. Okay? So it is mentioned in the third paragraph. Let's check the third paragraph. So, to be fair, exploring space, the other celestial bodies of the solar system and the universe at large also comes with innumerable benefits. So here, innumerable, it means countless, something that we can't count, okay? And the last one, primacy, which we may find in the fourth, or we will find in the fourth paragraph, which is primacy. Primacy, which is priority. There is one thing that I want to highlight. كاينة حاجة حبيت نقولها إنه إذا عطاو لكم فعل راكم رايحين تحوسوا على فعل. إذا عطاو لكم صفة تحوسوا على صفة. وإذا عطاو لكم donc إذا عطاو لكم verb you look for a verb, an adjective you look for an adjective, an adverb well you look for an adverb, etc. Now let's move to the next one. Give the opposites of the following words keeping the same root. Now, what is a root? A root is الجذر. It means أصل الكلمة. Okay, so here we're going to keep these, but we need to add something in order to give the opposite. العكس تاعها. So here we need prefixes. Of course, كاين اللي نحوسوا عليه نقدروا we form them using suffixes or prefixes. So relevant. Relevant. Here we need to add ir. So the opposite is irrelevant. Irrelevant. The second one, fair, حاجة عادلة. Okay? The opposite is unfair. And the last one, human, إنسان, unhuman. Unhuman. Let's jump to the third exercise. Combine each pair of sentences with the connectors given between brackets. Make changes where necessary. So here, in this sentence, you are going to join these two sentences with the connector given. Donc هاكم الحين تجمعوا بين هذا الزوج جمل بهذا الكونكتور اللي عطوه لكم. Let's start with the first one. Despite. Despite expresses concession. And what do we mean by concession? We use concession in order to link two opposing ideas. Donc deux idées contraires لبعضهم. Space exploration is costly, which means it costs money. Space exploration has many benefits. So here we start, you can either start with despite or you put it in the middle of a sentence. Well, both actions are correct. Let's try. So despite, okay, despite. Now, after despite, we need either a noun phrase or a gerund. And the easiest way is to put a gerund. How do we put a gerund, or how do we form a gerund? We form a gerund by adding ing to a verb. Okay, so despite, here we have verb to be, despite being costly, comma, space exploration has many benefits. Donc, malgré غالية بصح space exploration عندها بزاف المنافع. Let's jump to the second one. Scientists will develop space technology. They will be able to explore other planets. So here we have this connector, if, which is إذا. It's like إذا in Arabic, which expresses condition. Now, in order to express condition, we need two sentences again. So the first one, we call it if clause. In Arabic is الجملة الشرطية. And then we have the main clause or the result clause, which is جملة جواب الشرط. Okay? Now we have to identify which type of condition is that. In this sentence, we will see whether the result is so here we need to combine these two sentences with if, which expresses condition. Now, condition in Arabic is الشرط. So this if is like إذا in Arabic. إذا الشرطية. And to explain more, in order to put this, we need to understand that we have the if clause and the result clause. الجملة الشرطية وجملة جواب الشرط. And each one depend on the other. كل واحدة تعتمد على الأخرى. So here we need to see scientists will develop space technology. They will be able to explore other planets. So when can scientists be able to explore other planets? When they develop space technology. So here, if scientists develop space technology, comma, don't forget to put the comma, it's very important. They will be able to explore other planets. So what did we do here? We put if plus. Here's the verb. The verb is in the present simple. plus what? Plus comma, of course. Don't forget to put the comma. Plus will, which expresses future. And this is conditional type 1, okay, which expresses future possibility, which means this thing is possible. Exploring new planets or other planets is possible if scientists develop space technology. Now, let's jump to the next exercise, which is fill in the gaps. And here's the final part of the exam, which is the written expression. Now, I'm going to give you some tips in order to know how to write a paragraph or an article about any given topic. So the first one, you need to read the 2 topics and choose the one you feel the most confident about, which means you understand the 2 topics and you see which one is going to show your abilities. In Arabic, شوف الموضوع اللي يساعدك واللي راك رايح تشوف روحك فيه تمد أكثر. Okay? The second thing, your written expression should follow the basic structure. دونك عندنا structure تاع الموضوع تاعنا كيفاش يتكتب، تاع written expression تاعنا كيفاش تكتب. لازم يكون فيها introduction. It has to be consist of an introduction, body paragraphs and conclusion. مقدمة، عرض وخاتمة. So in the introduction, you are going to give a general idea about the topic. راك رايح تمد فكرة عامة على الموضوع اللي راك رايح تتطرق له. The body paragraphs عندنا زوج two possibilities. إذا تقدر تدير لنا 2 or 3 paragraphs، تقدر تدير زوج ولا 3 لي paragraph، كيما تقدر تدير 1 block. What do we mean by 1 block? It means 1 big paragraph. Okay? And last, we have the conclusion, where you restate the introduction in other words. Okay? Now, if it's an opinion article as written here, you have to clearly state your opinion. Don't forget to use sequencers, connectors like first, second, third, in addition, however, as a result, to conclude. Now, here, هنايا كثير من الطلبة يوقعوا في هذا المشكل انهم ملي يبداو الكتابة تاعهم هما يديروا and وهذه الحاجة راح تدير repetition. اوكي؟ احنا باش نتخلصوا من كاع هذاك الشيء and we avoid ونتجنبوا هذا الشيء، نقدروا نستعملوا هذوما sequencers ولا connectors. For example, first معناتها أولاً، second ثانياً، third ثالثاً etc. تقدر تقول in addition إضافة إلى ذلك، however, as a result كنتيجة لذلك، to conclude. هنا to conclude هذه نستعملوها باش نختموا الموضوع تاعنا. To conclude معناتها باش نغلقوا الموضوع. Another thing which is very important is that you have to stick to the word limit. It means إذا قال لك اكتب لي من 80 ل 120 كلمة، لازم تكون هذيك لازم تحدد هذوك الكلمات. Okay? Another one, avoid repetition, spelling and punctuation errors. Donc بالك la répétition، بالك spelling mistakes and punctuation, which I told you that it is very important in English. Comma, full stop, etc. And of course, as it's mentioned here, if it's an opinion article, you should state it, which is your opinion, clearly by using these words, for example, I think or in my opinion. I hope this video was useful for you. ربي ينجحكم إن شاء الله تدوا الباك وتفرحونا. Thank you.